Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is JayLeesCorner. So this is my review for Love and Marriage Huntsville. The foolishness will always continue one way or the other, okay? I mean, thank y'all for coming around here because we just ended the live for Mel's IG live of her going off on coleslaw. So if you have not already seen that, this is for those who's watching the replay. If you have not seen that, that is up on my channel, but we have to get into the actual episode that came on. Now I know, you know what I'm saying? I think, let me pop on screen. Let me pop on screen because this is what it is. I know, okay, a lot of folk, is not really here for the show antics. I know the show is getting a bit boring because it's some of the same stuff. Some of us is tired of this or that. So the male IG live was very much so something different, something entertaining, okay? I'm like, Lord Jesus. I don't know. And also, some folk may still be watching the live of Mel talking, okay? Because I just ended that. I'm going to fix because this graphic was just quick. I'm gonna make a better one because that looks ugly. It looks ugly. But we had to quickly get into that and whatnot. Okay, but we here for this right here. Okay, we here for all the foodlessness, the Mel and Martell drama from the show and the court case. Maurice being called out by Kimmi and also by Dennis of Dennis of Housewives of Atlanta, and then Tisha and Keke childishness. Okay, there are things to be discussed that I feel like needs to be discussed. Also, once I go watch the what's it called, Straight No Chaser, I'll go watch her thing and see what Coleslaw said, and maybe we will have a late night snitching session to discuss what she said that led up to Mel going off. Okay, I don't know yet, but that's a good possibility. Okay, but thank y'all for coming back. Let's go ahead and get into it because again, y'all already know, like, comment, share, subscribe, girl, I don't know, all the stuff. I recorded, now I took my notes in first because this episode was episode 13. It was Tisha stuff, Mel and Martell stuff, and Kimmy, Maurice, and Kiowa stuff. Okay, all these M's and K names on the show is kind of aggravating. Okay, but I feel like, you know, a lot of the things that we're seeing happening on the show, we're spilling out into social media. That can be why some folk are tired of the show already, because it's like it's overkill sometimes. It's like we see so much of it that we like, oh my God, again, oh my God, again. It's like, yeah, again, okay? Because people want to make sure that we know that somebody playing with them and they don't like it. Okay? Be that male wanting folks to know, leave me be. Okay? Stop poking me. When I poke back, it's gonna be an issue. Be it Martell trying to lie his way out of being, ignorant, cheating, person who caused a whole bunch of conflict around here, or be it, Maurice interviewing with Carlos King, and folks seeing how much of a jerk he is. Okay, because that's really what it was. Okay, I feel like don't nobody understand that Maurice's interview with Carlos King, to me, just proved that he's, a bit of a psychopath or whatever. Because what kind of person, does all that with his wife? I'm leaving that be. Okay, I'm leaving that be. But I think there's still something to be discussed. Okay. But yes, welcome back. Hit the like button, okay, and whatnot. Good evening to everybody. Happy Monday. Happy almost 4th, which is just a vacation day. It's not a holiday, it's a vacation. It's for me, for the black folk, okay, it's a day off work. Okay, that's it. That's it. Hey my, that's my mama, and we back, and we back, and we back. Okay. I know it's be good, but the replay's fine. It's fine. Okay. I know some folk would rather watch the male thing, and that's over there. And that's fine. Okay. It's fine. Now, Jaylee is doing the thing today. Look, I can't wait to get into Maurice. I saved Kimmy and Maurice stuff to the end because I want to read him for filth, for the antics that he has. I feel like, look, when this show first started, when we first was introduced to the cast, the antics of what was going on and all of that, I feel like nobody understood how the Scott siblings are like really bad men. Also, they not from Detroit. I think they're from like Pontiac. Pontiac is not Detroit. They're not from Detroit. Okay? They may be from Michigan and a city that may be close to Detroit. They not from here at all. Okay? We don't claim them around here at all. Anyway, I'm just saying. But let's get into what we can get into. Okay, so I'm like, look, I just can't. I'm still wound up. Yeah, I think they from Pontiac. Folks be saying they from Detroit. I'm like, they not from here. They not. I don't know nobody who know them, so I don't believe it. I think it's some foolishness. Okay, they not from here at all. And if they were, they ain't been back. If they were, they ain't here now. If they weren't, we don't like it. So leave them be. Leave them wherever they are. Let them be delusionally from wherever. But it ain't here. If y'all hear some boom, boom, booming, my neighbor music is on, I look, I don't care this point. I can't. I'm just hoping it don't boom, boom, boom and get me flagged because it can be heard. But again, we're gonna let that be. Anyway, yeah, I gotta let the D is different. Detroit and Pontiac are two different cities. You hear me? Anyway, so Tisha out here with her daughters, okay, having the whole little Mila and Macy thing or whatever. They 11 and 7. She said they have a hair brand. Okay, it's a hair brand of oils and moisturizers. I'm like, are you sure? I don't fully believe Tisha, because I feel like, why have we not seen anything leading up to the girls having this? How you out the blue have a whole line? I'm not saying it can't happen, but I'm a bit confused. Okay, but again, she wants the girls to see how to learn their brand, how to grow a brand, how to be in business. That's great. You should teach your kids how to do this and that or the other. But I said, are they really? Because when I saw the product sitting on the ground on the table, and they were putting new labels, I'm like, are y'all just relabeling somebody else's products and putting your name on it? Like, are you just like, are you like, you know what I'm saying? I'm confused. I'm confused because I'm like, the fact that they're showing that y'all are putting a different label, and I feel like what I saw was that first label that don't say their name. I don't see it saying Mila or Mike, whatever the name is. It don't say the kids' names. It looked like it could have been somebody else's products who the girls are like a spokesperson for. They have partnered with them to have it be a part of their names. Like, I don't know. But I'm like, them pink bottles don't seem like it say Macy and Mila. I could be tripping. I could be tripping. But it don't look like that. Okay? Look, somebody did say something about Canvas Beauty. Okay? Because, I mean, I'm just saying. It's weird to me that anybody would say their kids have a line of hair care products, but we ain't seen not nan piece of constructed serums. We ain't seen no meetups with the people. All we seen was them at a photo shoot with some new labels over some another bottle. Okay, I don't know, and I'm not saying anybody around here stealing. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying anybody around here taking folks' products. All I'm saying is when I watched the scene on the television, I said, wait, are they just repackaging their own products, or are they putting labels on somebody else's products? Okay, production production is always shady all day. Okay, but I'm like, Tisha, explain. Explain, Tisha, because I'm just one. I don't know. Okay, now because I'm like, what happened? But Keke come there. Okay, her boots, her shirt, her shirt dress, and brought some food for the kids because the kids is hungry and Tisha didn't feed them. Now they talk whatever, and Tisha bring up how I'm just what's going on, Keke? Okay, I'm upset because you didn't tell me about you getting the key to the city of Mobile, Alabama. You gonna be the grand marshal. I'm upset because I didn't hear it from you. I heard it from somebody else. Okay, and I'm upset. I'm like, why? I don't understand how adults are upset about other adults living their life and not thinking, let me call so and so. I'm like, did Tisha tell all the cousins? Like, who told Keke? Who told Keke? I would not be upset if somebody had something going on and they ain't tell me. What they ain't want me to know. I don't care. Okay. And he goes, I'm so busy. I got the Black Expo with my Marcel and the kids and the photo shoot and the products that we relabeling by Blind Wig. Okay. I got all this stuff. I got skull. Okay. I got my boots, my hair, my girl, all these things. Tisha make up shit. I'm so busy. I didn't think that the getting the key to the city and being a grand marshal was a big deal. So my team told me, my team said it was a big moment. And so I said, it is. Okay, so I know it's last minute, but can you come? I know it's in like a day or two. Can you make it to Mobile, Alabama? And I'll be there. I was like, girl, bye. But we didn't really see any of the stuff where Tisha went down there and got a key and was in a little dress. But we see later on she meets up with Keke because Keke didn't go. So the fact that Love and Marriage Huntsville did not think to show them actually her, I'm like, when you're on a TV show and you are getting honored somewhere, the fact that they didn't want to show it, I'm like, was it real? I don't know. Anyway, Keke did not come. She did not make it. So now Tisha upset. So first Keke was upset that Tisha did not tell her, and now Tisha upset because Keke didn't make it. I'm like, well, first of all, you invited me last minute. So I had to make, I had to make arrangements to get there. So you can't be upset that you invited me last minute and I could not make. I told you I was gonna come, but I couldn't get there. And you didn't show up, and it pissed me off. Okay, Keke keep letting me down, so I don't feel like I can move forward her in my life. Okay, I have to keep. She's flaky and unreliable. Like your husband. No, Tisha's from Tisha's from Bessemer. Bessemer, Alabama. Okay, so she ain't from Mobile, Alabama. Okay, but when Keke get there, first of all, Keke was sweating, but Keke always sweat. Okay, it be hot, but I'm so hot, and I'm like, is you going through the hot flashes or whatever? But it went from her saying how she's hot to her discussing about she's on medication that makes her feel some kind of. Turns out Keke is on methadone. Methadone is a drug that they give to people who are getting over addiction. And the methadone is supposed to prevent you from one going through withdrawal, whatever drug you were on, and it keeps you kind of like, you know what I'm saying, mellow, whatever, and they slowly wean you off the methadone so that way you don't relapse. Okay, so she's like, I'm on methadone. I've been on it for a year, and I feel like I can soon get off it completely and be fine. I'm like, okay, so I'm like, how did this go from Tisha being upset to Keke being on methadone? It was weird. It was weird. Okay, but Keke then said, look, I could not show up. I'm sorry, or whatever. Okay. And Tisha like, well, it's always an excuse. You're supposed to be there. I'm like, y'all adults. It's like, I was like, why? To me, it was childish. Keke being upset and Tisha was childish, and Tisha being mad at Keke was childish. It's childish shit that I think we should be over. Okay. When Keke said, like, I could not drive my car down there. I couldn't get a rental car. I could not get anyone to rent me a car. I made an effort to try to come there, but it was not intentional. Tisha makes it seem like people be intentionally doing things to her. And I'm like, no, man, she couldn't get there. It ain't that big of a deal. But if she told you, hey, I was trying to come, I can't make it, I don't have a car to get there, what you want me to do? What you want me to do? It's a 5-hour drive. Her car, she said my car I couldn't drive my car. I think her husband was out of town. She could not get a rental. Let's not forget, she didn't know about it until like a couple days before. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, is it a big deal? Is it a big deal? Is it a big deal? Also, I'm like, you had time to plan to be there. She didn't. But Tisha trying to make this be an issue is why I feel like Tisha be on some bullshit. Okay? And if someone said, look, I just couldn't get a ride. I could not drive my car for 5 hours for whatever reason. Okay? So but I did not try to play you. I'm like, girl, you didn't care enough to tell her ahead of time, so what does it matter? Okay? And when I can't keep letting people hurt me. You know what I'm saying? I have to lower my expectations, or put people out my life. You know what I'm saying? It really hurt me. It really, really hurt. Girl, you know it didn't. No, it didn't. You and Keke are just now getting back cool. And the fact that she was telling you, hey, I'm trying to make it, but I can't because I don't have a ride to get there. It wasn't as if she said she was going to come and then just never said shit. Y'all were in communication the whole time and she could not make it. That's the definition of letting someone know, hey, just so that you know, I can't make it. Period. And when she said how, like, I'm sorry I let you down or whatever, it was not intentional. I'm saying I'm trying to get some order in my life. And there are more events in our lives that I'll be there for. I think Keke's point is Tisha is aware her life is like she's going through things and she's trying to have the time to do stuff. So, I mean, why does it matter that tough? You knew I couldn't come when I told you. Leave me the fuck alone, okay? And well, you know what? That's fine. We having a Black Expo come to that. I'm like, does she have a business? What does Keke do? I feel like, what's the point of inviting someone to the Black Expo if she not like in business? That to me was weird, and I don't get it. Okay, it's weird to me. Either way I go, I feel like Tisha trying to beat a dead horse, and that dead horse is Keke. Here, anyway, um, Black Expo. Let's move on to Mel storyline. Okay, Mel meeting up with Kimmi at the spot. Um, Mel was also on social media this weekend. We'll get into that in 1 second. So I had to break this up into just what's about Mel and not what's about Kimmi. Okay, so they're discussing the Black Expo. Okay, because Mel still not trying to mess with them people at all. Um, right. Keke was a professor, but I'm like, is she gonna sell books at the Black Expo? I'm just wondering. Anyway, Mel and Kimmi. Mel, like, look, you know what I'm saying? I met up with Tisha and it was a decent meeting. You know what I'm saying? I like with Tisha, it did not try to pressure me to be a part of the Black Expo. Like, she got where I was coming from or whatever. And I made it clear I'm not trying to work with, be around Martell, okay? Especially in the middle of this court battle. I think the fact that people are ignoring the fact that at this time of filming, Mel and Martell was fully in the court battle because Martell was trying to get custody of the kids. So I have to be around him a little bit, but I'm not fucking with y'all. It ain't gonna happen. But I like the fact that she said even if Martell was not involved because of other things, i.e., Tisha calling me the devil in sheep's clothing, I have a dark soul because of other things that has happened, I still would not want to be involved. I think Mel point is the season is like, I can be around y'all. We can, meet up and chit chat, but I'm not trying to be in business with y'all. I'm not trying to like work with y'all in that capacity. And y'all should know why. Even if y'all feel like we all have to work together to be on the show, I think Mel is doing that by simply showing up to stuff. But asking me to partner and go in business with y'all, it's like, no, ma'am. No, sir. I won't do that. And I think she's fair to have that assessment. Now, when Kimmi brings up how I like to see how you and Martell, like, sometimes this coexists. Like, that's a good thing considering, things have been going on in court for a while. And Mel said, yeah, because, I'm saying, Martell isn't turning your paperwork. Like, Martell is consistently not doing what he's supposed to do. Okay? He's the one filed for custody, but he won't turn in stuff to hurry this along. Okay? It keeps being drawn out and drawn out and drawn out because of him. Not because of me, because of him. And the only reason they got to find a court date was because her attorney filed, like, no, we have to get a date. He should not get any more than this. Like, we have to do this today, not tomorrow, today. Okay? And how draining it's been trying to be around someone who's literally trying to take the kid. It's crazy. And when Kimmi was like, it's gonna be to the point where y'all have to like meet in the middle. I'm like, I feel like it's not even about them meeting in the middle. I feel like Martell fully feel like Mel should do what he wants. Mel should only do what he wants to do. That if Mel don't want to follow his guidelines and his rules, then she's the one being difficult. She's the one not trying to co-parent. It's like, no, you don't run me. I have my life, you have yours, but I don't have to do what you tell me to do. And that's the gotcha. That's the part of we can't meet in the middle. If he thinks the middle is what he wants, he does not want me to have my own life, and he's an asshole, and I'm done. We then see Mel meeting with Chris and Nell Fletcher. Now, Chris and Nell, the first time we seen them, in my opinion, for real, was when Mel had that blonde braided wig. and they met up at their house to talk, and Mel got pissed because Martell kept bringing up how co-star was satisfying him, and she threw the glass at him. That's when we kind of first saw Chris and Nell, and we now know Chris and Nell know both Mel and Martell. And the fact that we found out that Nell and Chris were in court with Mel and Martell. Why? Because Martell subpoenaed people because he thought they would be or give him some kind of, I guess, some clout. I don't know. Would be on his side, okay? And Nell brought up how I did not like being called to court and did not know. Martell subpoenaed folks and did not tell them he was going to subpoena them as witnesses in the court case. I'm like, look, if we friends and you battling your wife, why would you not tell me that you gonna call me as a witness for your side? And the good thing was, Nell, like, I don't like being called to court and not being told about it. I don't like it. Even though she ended up not testifying, she was still subpoenaed to be there. Chris ended up speaking. And Mel, like, he called all these folks or whatever to kind of be on his side to be his benefit, and all of them, like, none of it helped his case. Like, it wasn't as if anybody said, okay, well, yeah, Mel ain't shit. And everybody basically said, like, we see both Mel and Martell over the kids. I don't think I've ever seen Mel call Martell a bad father. He's a bad husband. He called the mayor to break up. He hurt them in that way, but she never came for him as a father. The fact that Martell consistently, since Mel chose to leave him, has came at her as a mom shows how much of a POS he is. And when we seen Chris, Nell, and Martell on that Well, Nell and Chris had a date night, and Martell popped up there. I like how Nell listened to Martell, but she did not let him fool her. You can tell Nell know a lot, and she like, man, that don't sound right. Martell, that don't sound right. And she won't let him influence her. Martell tried to influence people with them thinking he had the kids best interest, and he doesn't. He doesn't. Chris, like, look, I was not gonna lie up on the thing. Like, I came there and was honest or whatever. And Mel said, yeah, he thought people would come and like perjure themselves, and no one did. When she brought up how her attorney was asking Chris about the house that Martell lives in, because Martell lives in a house that Chris is either the realtor or whatever. Martell don't own that house. You know what I'm saying? And so they brought it up. And Chris said, well, he's going to probably have to move again because the house is about to be up under contract with somebody else. Meaning you can't live there if the new owner says you got to go. And Mel, like, he up here talking about me and how I'm unfit. He don't have no stable home because Mel is in the same house she's been in since she left Martell. You know what I'm saying? He not stable at all, if you ask me. And it's like he make it's like he make it seem as if his meeting is really him. Okay. And that may be why he asked me to pay his fees. I think Martell Martell been asking Mel to pay lawyer fees. And she's like, because, like, you know, his money is funny. And Chris, like, well, I told him beforehand that, like, hey, when you get divorced, things change, money changes or whatever, and things will be different. I really feel like Martell felt like he would divorce Mel and nothing would change. I think he felt like it would still be some kind of shared financial ship. And Mel's like, hell no. No, thank you. Okay. And when she went up, like, we were married, Martell enjoyed the dual income. It was a dual income household. So he lived off the dual income. And now, like, things have changed. So he could really be having money issue because, again, it ain't two. It's one. And not only that, Martell has not, to my knowledge, to what I see, he has not tried to consistently keep a multiple levels of income coming in. All he do is fuss with Mel. want stuff from Mel. And Mel, on the other hand, is out here consistently working, touring, doing them. Her master classes cost, I think, like $3,500. She just did a little sale of them for like 1,500. She's making thousands like regularly. She has all these things to be sure that her income level don't change. He ain't did that at all. And I also think he's jealous. You know what I'm saying? And when she went to court, because like Mel said, we went to court because I had a protection order against him. And why going to court for that? Him and the lawyer tried to be taken slide in a chain of custody with the kids, and I said, hell no. Hell no. And people forget, it wasn't Mel. The season, I think it was probably season 4. Mel and Martell met up at like a little place for lunch or whatever. And he said to her, well, because you're too busy, because you have all these sitters, just give me the kids. Give me for custody. And Mel said, hell no. That's where it started. He tried to comfort her, and ever since then, it's been him trying to make it seem as if Mel is too busy to be a mom, when Mel is too busy working to have a household income that has not changed since the divorce. And to see how people like to make it seem as if Mel is, I'm like, how is she wrong? We are divorced. I have 4 children. You not doing much of nothing. I have to work to afford 4 kids, because my kids' life should not change because of you. Even if at your house is broken, destitute, at home it won't be that. Had Martell did what Mel did, which is had the divorce happen and then focus on working and rebuilding, he would not be like he is today, which is always coming from Mel for no real reason. And to me, it shows he's jealous of her and how she's been able to not miss a beat. So let me call her a bad mom because she's a working mom. Let me use the narrative of she does not have time for the kids, so I should take them, because he wants child support. He knows full well if he would take the kids full time, he could then get full child support for 4 kids from her, which would make her have to work more. That's crazy. That's insane. You hear me? And anybody who don't get that, I'm like, how can you not get it? Like, I feel like Martell is not like Martell, as Mel said, he's not smarter than a 5th grader. He is very simple-minded. So the part was, we should see what he's trying to do. You know what I'm saying? And when she said he has been trying to make me seem like an unfit mother consistently, as if he has to worry about the kids in my care, like he's acting like he's worried about if I'm going to feed them. What? What? And when Chris said, I told him a few times to drop it. You know what I'm saying? I told him a few times, like, leave it be. Because we all know the child changed everything. Meaning, when you had a child with coleslaw, that changed the dynamics of your life. You can't try to get your kid from your ex-wife because you're upset that she divorced you. That's all it is. He's upset Mel divorced him and is moving on in life. And so every chance he get, anything she do that makes him look pitiful, he makes it seem as if that is her being a bad mom. Her working, bad mom. Her traveling, bad mom. So Nell then said, well, what changed in court? And then she said, well, nothing. It's still 1 week on, 1 week off. The judge she said, I'm going to appeal this because the judge tried to say that Martell had the best interest of the kids, but I did not, because I did not want to give him my phone number. And the rule for, I guess, the rule there for, parents or whatever is you cannot use the other person's phone number to harass them. But he's been harassing her. We saw that when they were going through the divorce, and Martell was literally following Mel on dates, walking up on her, recording her in restaurants while they were divorcing. He has fully harassed that lady. And so the fact of the matter was, that's why she's like, no, we can't have it. But the judge made it seem like, she ain't the one, doing the best. She ain't the best. This, that, or the other, okay? And the judge kept giving him more time to do this, do that, and how Martell was not following the guidelines of what the courts were doing, but the judge never would call him out for it. She kept giving him more, because Martell is a handsome, bald ass man who we know is charming. So the fact that this female judge kept giving Martell more space, more time, more effort to do all this shit, to me shows she was being impartial. She was being biased. Because in real life, if you are asking for one of the parents to do things and they're not doing it, you're supposed to hold that parent accountable. To make it seem as if because she did not give him a phone number, and it wasn't as if he did not have access to the kids. It wasn't as if he was not talking to the kids. He just could not contact Mel directly. That's it. Bullshit. You hear me? Now, Martell was talking to his mama. Okay? And we know his mom, Marlene, she kind of sort of ain't shit. Why? Because she raised him. And she makes it seem like he not full of shit. She makes it seem as if he... Yes, kid, stop playing. She makes it seem as if he's innocent in how he has made his life be in shambles. Okay? And he's like, mama, I'm saying, my mama, Chris Fletcher, Mel, brother Marcus, me and Mel all testified in court. And how he was so hurt that his mama she didn't do more for him in court. How, you should have been here and you should have done your all. I'm like, what? What? Now, the mama said, I don't think y'all should have even been in court in the first place because, the courts don't even see y'all as parents. It's bullshit. And then he said, well, yeah, mom, but you was up there. You made me mad because, I've told you all the stuff going on. I've told you stuff, and you didn't say nothing. Meaning, Martell told his mama specific stuff to say in court. Whatever Marlene said, what? What do you mean? Okay? Him making it seem like, mama, I told you stuff. I told you what was going on. You didn't say nothing. Ask my mama. You were supposed to come and show up and show out. I'm like, nigga, that hurt me to the core. Martell, shut up. And the fact that mama said, look, Martell, they asked me questions, and I answered the questions, but I did not volunteer more. I didn't elaborate. And I'm not used to courts. Okay. You showed up and you showed out. That's what matters. And it makes me aggravated that, to me, what that means is he wanted her to lie. He wanted her to say she saw things or she heard things based on what he told her. That's what's stupid. That's what's dumb. And the fact that he wants people to basically lie and back up his BS, to me, shows he's a bad parent. He's a horrible parent. Period. Okay? And now, when she thinks of, I don't even know, why y'all, no, she said, did Mel ever say, why y'all were on a trial? He said because Mel wanted full. I say, Mel did not want full custody. You tried to get full custody. You started it, and she fought back. And when the mom then said, well, did she offer 6 months on, 6 months off, or whatever? And he said, yeah, I couldn't believe it. I said, I can't do that. I can't not see my kids. If you don't want the kids, say that and give them to me. He said, for that reason, the judge saw that he was the one who was, fit to be the good parent. Now, first of all, Mel was on Twitter, not on IG, and she was responding and watching the episode on her IG stories. And she's admitted, I did say it. She did say, let's do 6 months on, 6 months off. So I said it because I knew he couldn't do it or handle it. And the answer was not, I can't go without seeing them, but it was, oh no, I can't handle that, stop lying. She also brought up how that's exactly what the clause says. It can't be used for harassing purpose, meaning he did not have my number because he was harassing me, fucking with me. Now, she also talked a little bit. I'm going to show y'all the live that she did. The right one. So she was explaining the whole situation.
Y'all getting first row seat today. My God. So let's go over really quickly some of the things that just came out on this. I posted some things on my story already, but the fact of the matter is, of course, it's done and over now, so I can freely talk about this. The fact of the matter is, there was a reason that he didn't have my number. All of y'all have kind of been a part of seeing why and what was going on when it came to that.
She did this. It was either Saturday night or maybe, I think it was Saturday night. She was on live. Well, not on live. She was live on her stories talking about what we saw. Now, Mel had kept saying before that while the trial was going on, she was not discussing it. We all know the trial is now over. So that's what she's now talking about what happened.
The phone hacking piece and all of that. The next piece of it is the Madison County Parenting Clause, go look it up, says you are supposed to give the other party your number, but it should not be used for harassing purposes. Even though he didn't have my number, my kids still call him. He was still able to talk to my kids. It wasn't like on some, oh, you go a whole week without talking to your kids. It wasn't that.
And that's how I feel like Martell made it seem. Martell made it seem as if I want to talk to my kids, I can't. I don't have her number, so I can't do this, I can't do that. And I'm like, if you are still talking to the kids, if there is no issue to where you were trying to let her know something happened or vice versa, why is it an issue that you don't have her direct number? If you still had access to the kids in a conversation, why are you tripping?
So that's that piece of it. Next piece, why were great strides considered being made from that side?
Meaning the judge saying that Martell was when she said the judge ruled that Martell was, trying to be a good parent and she wasn't. She was saying how, well, look, because he had much to do.
Because they had the work to do. That's why. So, the only thing that for me I was reprimanded about was the phone number thing, and that was literally all those months, almost a year leading up to custody. There was nothing that I did that was to the custody case. There was nothing that I did that she said anything to me about. But when it came to the trial date, and I had just changed my number in October and all that, she wasn't happy with that, and that's fine. It is what it is. It is what it is.
And again, Martell has always been, it seemed like when in court it went my way, it was in my favor because the judge said the father has been making strides to be for the betterment of the kids. I can't say the same about the mother. And Mel's point is, well, you gave him things to fix. So if I didn't have shit to fix except him not have my number, of course it's gonna seem like he did work because he had work to do. I didn't.
But other than that, I didn't have work to do, so I didn't have great strides to make to show that I was trying to co-parent. So let's talk about this 6 months on off. First of all, I did it and asked it because I knew the other party was not capable of keeping nobody no 6 months straight. Okay.
Because if you say, hey, as the father, as the daddy, I want full custody. Okay, well, cool. Let's do 6 months on, 6 months off. If you can't do 6 months, you can't do full custody at all. She made a suggestion that she knew he couldn't handle. She called his bluff. It wasn't about, I don't want to have my kids for 6 months. It was, you want for cutty, cool. Let's do 6 months on, 6 months off. How about that? He can't do that because he would have to be fully responsible for the kids for 6 months. He couldn't do that. He would not be able to ask her for child support because for those 6 months, he would have to be fully responsible for all their expenses. He couldn't do that. It would checkmate.
Already knew that. So that was, you know how you ask a question that's a setup kind of question? Come on now. Secondly, the response was, I can't do that. No, it wasn't no, I can't not see my kids. Oh, no, it was not that. It was, I can't do that. I can't do that. But guess what's so funny? Is months later, like maybe a month, hey, Mel, was you for real about that 6 months on, 6 months off thing? See what I'm saying? It be the shenanigans for me.
Because Martell be full of poop. You hear me? Right. Martell can't even consistently house himself. How can he do that with the kids? Because it's not only therefore, plus, him and Cole, little Maverick, little Knox. So it's like Martell will be saying stuff to make it seem as if, well, Mel don't want the kids. You know what I'm saying? Mel doesn't want to be a mother. I'm the only one who wants to be a parent. She should give them to me and let me raise them. And I feel like he know that ain't true. Anyone who sees Mel with kids, Mel not trying to not be with her kids. Even when they were married, she wasn't a hands-off mama. It's crazy that Martell makes it seem as if Mel around here not wanting to be responsible. He's full of shit. You hear me? He's full of shit. Okay, now, what's next? I think it may be Kimmy and them. Is it Kimmy and them? Yes. First, I want y'all to take one last second and like the video, please. Because y'all know liking is the thing to do. So, Kimmy and Maurice, I feel like we used to feel like Maurice was the good guy. We used to feel like we know that Martell is the POS. Marceau was not a good husband to how he treats Tisha. But Maurice came off initially as the more sensible one. Came off as the more just less toxic is how I think we used to look at Maurice. And then out the blue, slowly but surely, Maurice became a complete jerk. Maurice became unbearable. And it's sad that it's gotten worse since Kimmy was diagnosed with cancer. I feel like we felt when she was first diagnosed and he was so supportive about how he was going to be there for her and he don't come on. It was not saying that part was fake, but Maurice changed. I think once Kimmy's cancer diagnosis, I'm sure behind closed doors, was very hard for her. What we see with Kimmy is not what some people may think a cancer patient looks like, or what a cancer patient acts like, and what you think of someone going through cancer, going through radiation, going through chemo. And a part of me feel like because she wasn't this um sickly person who couldn't do nothing for herself and she still had bits of energy, I feel like he felt like she didn't need as much delicate care as she really did. And it kind of made me mad because to me, Maurice has been consistently gaslighting Kimmi um in this season. You know what I'm saying? I feel like him sitting up there and telling her, well, you aren't over past ages with Kiowa because she did not apologize to you about her insinuating that you interfered in our marriage. You're not over that. And I'm like, he's gaslighting Kimmi to piss her off because you can't tell me he really think that. And my thing is, it's a difference. It's a difference in holding on, being upset, being bitter, messy, and defensive about something because you're not over it, versus you understanding someone did something to you, never said sorry, you don't like what they did, but you also no longer give a fuck. That's no longer on the forefront of your brain. It happens, whatever. And so Kimmi was pissed. She's like, wait, first of all, fuck the bullshit. Like, what am I not over? What am I not over? Well, you're not over her not saying sorry. We see a flashback to 2019, back when Kimmi was upset because at that point in time, folks were calling Kimmi a side piece. Now she, in 2019, when it came up, when the rumors came up, when all this stuff was happening, Kimmi was upset then. However, that was 4 years ago. Ask my husband to bring up how I felt 4 years ago over something that your ex-wife did not help squash pisses me off. And Kimmi was visibly aggravated in this scene. Fully aggravated. I think because she still felt like when they kept saying the shit then, Maurice did not back her up enough. Come on now, April. It was a whole deflection because the conversation is you parenting monster, Kiowa parenting monster. How did it get to where I am the issue? I'm upset. The fuck? He completely changed the story. And he knew once Kimmi felt like she was pissed off, she would not be having the conversation about monster. Now it's about you coming at me saying I'm, still mad about something. And that's the bullshit. And I love when she said, look, at the end of the day, we've come a long way. Me and her and Kiowa. Okay? We're cordial. We out here, we working together to raise Monster. Monster has 2 years before he's going for college. So you trying to now foster this relationship between me and her, it's crazy. And that's true. Because I don't have to be friends with your ex-wife. I don't have to accept a narrative of me that isn't true. However, I'm cordial with her. That's what we need now. The issue at hand really is Monster not being comfortable enough to be openly honest with his daddy. That his daddy is a fucked up parent and how he communicates. Maurice thinks he's always right. And once he realized he's wrong, he just changed the narrative. So we in boot camp. Boot camp ain't really boot camp because he's still not doing the chores and the stuff he's supposed to do around the house. Okay, let's change this. Okay, well that means Monster around there. He don't care. He never wants to admit, no, it's you. You not doing your job as his father. Yes, Kimmi is the stepmama. She's there as well. However, we all know that usually the bio parent is the more dominant parent. Because sometimes the kid listens to that parent a little bit more. However, Maurice's way of parenting is talking at Monster, and Monster still not listening at all. And I think he's also counting down the days until he's out that house in college. I'm done. Okay, and Kimmy's saying you're trying to make something be something that it isn't. Monster damn near out the house. He's gonna be in college in a couple years. Like, why are you trying to make me and her be friendly now? And when this fool said, well, I've been trying to do it for a long time. I've been trying to foster. I was like, you lying. You're both lying. If that was the case, Kiowa would have moved to Alabama. Karla would have got her on the show. We would have seen them trying to build something. But no, Kiowa, a couple of seasons ago, said they were going to move to Alabama. They never did. Instead, they had Monster to stay down on Maurice, which didn't help anything. And when this fool said, I've been trying to fall for this for a long time, and I was met with resistance on both sides. And, Kimmi, I need you to always be present for any meetings I call. Fuck your meetings. Okay? And when she said, Kiowa allowed and perpetuated a lie about me, that to me showed me that she had a lack of integrity. It's one thing to know your marriage to Maurice is over. It's something else to blame me for it and then say I interfered in y'all's marriage when you know that ain't true. And her saying I don't have any friends who lack integrity. I don't not none. So I'm not holding on to shit. But we are where we are. And I feel like where Kiowa and Kimmi are, it's fine. Neither one of them seems to have an issue. Maurice is the issue. And when they flashed back to Kiowa saying on camera, it was Kiowa, Maurice, and Kimmi. And she said to Kimmi on camera back in 2019 that things were sketchy when y'all was together. Okay? Me and Maurice were not divorced yet. We were dating Maurice. Okay? A line had been crossed. And I don't know what he said, but we were not divorced. Where Kimmi's narrative has always been, no, they were divorced. Papers were signed. So Kiowa was the one who put out a narrative of Kimmi messing around with Maurice in some sort of way before him and Kiowa were done. That's why she pissed. That's also why she feel like he on some bullshit. And when he then said, have you ever said that to Kiowa? That, she put out that, she said, well, no, but has she ever asked me? No one is ever concerned with how I feel. That's what I care. I no, you don't. Because in hindsight, truthfully, if you know for a fact you were done in your marriage and nothing can be true, at every chance you would not be trying to not say that. You would not be trying to make it seem that, well, she shouldn't care. It's not true. No, you should be fussing about that at every point because Kimmi is your current wife. Maurice always responds in a way that will not make Kiowa look bad. Okay? And Kimmi said that. Kimmi said Maurice is always trying to save Monster and Kiowa's image, even at my expense. So I'm collateral damage. He won't fully defend shit that may make Kiowa and or Monster feel or look some kind of way, even if it's at my own detriment. He will consistently just make it seem as if dog don't care, versus vehemently denying that there's any truth to it. And when this fool said, well, you just wanted me to be more, he said Kimmi wanted him to be more ugly in his defense. And she said, it's weird that you think confrontation has to be ugly, meaning your husband should be able to fully defend you and it doesn't have to get ugly. But if it does, so be it. Why? Because that's my wife. Yes, Kiowa and Tisha, I think maybe season 2 or 3, was Keke about it. Fully Keke about it. And the fact of the matter is, Maurice has now seen these episodes back. You know what Kiowa said. You know what Kiowa implied. And you sit up here on the couch with your wife, who is still battling cancer, fussing with her about how she could be more nice and understanding and talk to your ex-wife. Nigga, what? And the fool then said, I'm gonna set up a meeting. I'm gonna set up a meeting with you in Kiowa, you know what I'm saying? And y'all can just talk. Kimmi said, at the end of the day, all this shit is your fault. All of this stuff that has happened, and this is my opinion. Kimmi means Maurice wasn't honest with both her and Kiowa at some point in life. And because Maurice was not honest with either with either her or Kiowa, that caused all this drama that he still would not fully hold himself accountable. The same way he would not hold himself accountable for being a lackadaisical, non-communicative parent. He would not accept his lies, his talking in circles, his talking around a point is how this all happened. Because can't nobody tell me that Maurice was not talking to Kiowa in a way that made her feel like they could possibly work things out, while also telling Kimmi once the divorce is signed in the time frame is passed, we good. And that's what she said. It was all your fault, because it was. And Maurice ain't shit. And when Mel and Kimmi met up and talked, and she's like, I haven't finished radiation. Also, I feel like, she's like, I feel better now. I'm just tired. And Mel, so I know Monster and Maurice is helping, you know what I'm saying? Which, not really. He not really. We still working on that. Okay. And when she brings up how Maurice set up this meeting with Kiowa, and that she like, I don't think me and her would ever be like besties, just based on what has happened. Okay. With her insinuating that I interfered in her marriage. Mel said, well did you? Did you? And I like the fact that Mel said, I've never fully asked you. We've never had a conversation about that or whatever. Like, I never asked you, like, were they divorced when y'all got together? And Kimmi said, well, no. Maurice and Kiowa had signed the divorce paperwork, and it was just a 6-month waiting period for it to go through. And I always say, when folks are divorcing, if you have signed the papers, I don't think it's an issue with the people, with either party moving on. So that's why I said, even though they had signed the papers, in my opinion, Maurice was still having conversations with Kiowa. I feel like he was still being very open and talking as if, hey, maybe we could work things out. Maybe this, maybe that. I think, and I'm going to say he probably also used Monster as an excuse. I think that his point was, I have to be nice to Kiowa. because that's my son's mama. And so for me to be a parent, let me placate this or that with her. And that's why Kimmy said all of this is Maurice's fault. Because again, I met a man who was going through divorce. They had signed the papers. And he was telling me it was done. That's why all this is not Kimmy's fault. It ain't even Kaiwa's fault. This is the true definition of a man playing both sides. Period. Playing Kimmy, playing Kaiwa, which pissed Kaiwa off. So Kaiwa felt like he's saying to me, hey, we can maybe work things out. I don't know, we shall see. Even though he had signed the papers. And to Kimmy, because again, let's not forget, Maurice was living in Alabama. Kaiwa is still in Michigan. It's not as if they were even in the same state. So if a man who lives in Alabama, whose wife and child lives in Michigan, why would I believe they're together? They're not in the same state. It wasn't as if he could easily go nothing. So people, Kaiwa still don't live here. Maurice played two people who had no conversation, who had no connection to each other. All they had is what he was telling them. That's it. That's it. So, period. And that's why Kimmy's saying in the scene with her and Maurice, all of this is really your fault. It really is. Because Kimmy knew for a fact that as far as he told her, they weren't together and there was divorce papers signed. Kaiwa knew they had signed them, but he was still talking about maybe we can reconcile. So anyone trying to blame Kimmy is crazy to me. Because if I meet a man in my stay here in Michigan who has been here for a year, who was going through divorce, his wife lives in a whole other state, and I have seen the divorce. I've seen the divorce decree paperwork, and it's both signed, and they're waiting the 6-month period. Why would I think that it was something different? Why is anyone trying to make it seem as if Kimmy was the one? It's fucking Maurice. It was Maurice. It was Maurice. At the end of the day, the only person who was lying was Maurice. Period. Period. Boom. It took me almost 7 months to get my divorce paperwork back after we both signed. Yeah, y'all. I was still married of 7 months, but look, you just waiting on the judge. And that's what Kimmy said. Kimmy never said Kimmy said verbatim they were not divorced. However, they have both signed the paperwork and was waiting for it to clear. It was over, as far as I knew. But Kaiwa felt like they were working on a reconciliation. Why? Because Maurice says. Okay? And her point was, how am I interfering? You don't even live here. We see how Maurice talk in circles now. Y'all really think that Maurice wasn't talking that bullshit then? People like to give men credit and then try to comfort the women. The fuck? Not kickstand. And Kaiwa at the time had a boyfriend. Y'all forget that? Kaiwa wasn't at home by herself. She had a boyfriend. Kaiwa had a boyfriend. Maurice had Kimmy. The fuck? Okay? The fuck? Y'all said she did what? Oh, I got a little screenshot of it.
Y'all got.
I said, thank you, Miss Candace. We will discuss that in 1 second. Coleslaw. Let me send this to my computer. But that's the crazy part that I don't like is the fact that people like to blame Kimmi and say Kimmi did it. It's Kimmy's fault. Kimmi should no. It was Maurice. It was Maurice. It was Maurice. Maurice is a liar. My love, how was he doing that? And she did not live. What part of she? Okay, yes. Maurice was flying back to Michigan consistently and banging Kiowa while Kiowa's boyfriend was there. Yes, yeah, that was happening. Mm-hmm. 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 Yep, that's what happened. Mm-hmm. Kimmi knew that he was. Kimmi knew all that. It's all Kimmi. If y'all don't know about loud ass men around here, if do y'all watch the show? And that's this. This is why they. This is why he left. Because Kyle cheated. That was the gotcha. That's what happened. But I'm leave that be okay because look, everybody has a right to their opinion. All I'm saying is, Maurice is the cause of it. And if people can't, if people, and I mean everybody, I mean everybody, okay. If anyone feel like, well, Kim should have known better, blah 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 blah. If you are living in a state with a man and he live in a whole other state, he's been living in this state for cause y'all Martell, not Garcia, Martell. Maurice was in Alabama for a while before he met Kimmi. After living, banging and doing things, living a single life before he met Kimmi. Kiowa ain't never stayed in Atlanta. She's still here in Michigan. Anyway, Kimmi said at the end of the day, Kiowa knew that she let a narrative run wild that she knew wasn't true. Anyway, Kimmi and Kiowa meet up. I feel like I would not have met with Kiowa. I feel like there's no reason to. Maurice has completely changed the narrative about what's better for Monster, for him to be a better hands-on there. This truthfully, both Maurice and Kiowa are fucked up parents. You wanna know why? Maurice is better communicating. Okay. Kiowa lives in a whole other state and she cannot be there for her son. Because she don't live there. You know what I'm saying? And when Kimmi asked, like, how did the chat with Marshall go? I feel like, you know what I'm saying? It's like on. Because he also wants you around more. And when Kyle was, yeah, he's carrying some emotional baggage. And I know now he do need me. However, I got to figure it out because I don't know how just yet. I feel like Monster did not need to live with Maurice. Even though we know that, people feel like, boys, once they get to a certain age, it takes a man to raise them. Is Maurice fully a man? Like, seeing how he talks to people, how he finagles stuff, like, that's why I feel like Marsha don't really talk to him. He don't trust him. So I feel like Kiowa, you see your child suffering under the care of his daddy. And I feel like the fact that she has not seen that until now, to me, means she isn't fully taking a hold of herself as a mom and so you know what, I'm gonna have to sacrifice, I'm gonna move. Because my son ain't in the best way. Like he's having emotional issues or whatever, and I may need to be there. Both Kiowa and Maurice need to go to not couples, the parenting classes, the parenting counseling or whatever, because what they're doing is not helping Monster. And I feel like both of them are allowing Kimmi to be the scapegoat. Period. And I'm not saying Kyle is at fault, but I do feel like once, Monster went there, did she become less of a active parent? You know what I'm saying? And Kimmi is the only one trying to not overstep because she see Monster need more from both parents. And so Kimmi to me is tiptoeing because she see the bullshit. But I can't say much because I'm not the birth mama. Okay. And when Kimmi brings up how Maurice was the one who wanted us to talk, whatever, but I thought, like, what do we have to talk about? I think we're in a good place. I don't want to go backwards and saying that I was telling Martell, Maurice, how I knew how you felt as a single mom. When Kimmi said over the years, no matter what was going on, she used to be like advocating and telling Maurice how Kiowa felt as a single mom who lived in Michigan with a kid, okay, the father somewhere else. And so, you probably did not know that I was really fighting with him for you because I can relate. And I feel like Kimmi is trying to be like, you know what? It ain't me or y'all. Y'all got me in y'all shit. It's all Maurice's fault. It's all Maurice's fault. You hear me? And then when she said, but you implying that I interfered in your marriage, like that stuck with me over time. And when Kyle said, what did I say? What you say? And we seen the feedback of her saying, like, you was messing. And then when you implied, you know what I'm saying, that me and Maurice was messing around while you and him were like happily married in the house together, and now like a little sad piece. You know what I'm saying? And we know that wasn't the truth. We all knew that wasn't the truth, okay? And I didn't say that you were sad. I didn't say that. What could I have done? I don't do social media, whatever. I did not know, but you held me accountable for what others said. And I said, Kiowa, that's some bullshit. I feel like we as women, we know it's the implication. We know implying things mean things. And it's what she said on camera back in 2019 that started the narrative that Kimmi was a sad piece to Maurice based on what Kiowa said. Now, Kiowa may not be on social media. However, on the show, you 100% insinuated in that conversation. You then joked about it with Tisha later on. You knew what you were doing. Yes, I wasn't going to say anything, but Kimmi and Kiowa do favor. He for sure has a type. They do favor. They're not twins, but they could be cousins. Okay? But Kiowa, to me, who was trying to deflect as if she had no idea Kimmi felt this way. She had no idea that Kimmi felt like she was the culprit. I'm like, but you said it. Come on now. Yes. And that's why I said, to me, Kiowa is just as bad as Maurice, because both of them are avoiding what they've done what they said that put out a narrative about Kimmi, and how neither of them would say enough to say that ain't the truth. Even if after signing the divorce paperwork, y'all was on some bullshit, still fucking around. Don't mean we didn't see the insinuation. And so Kyla, as a grown woman, knowing what she said in the past, should be able to say, even though I did not say verbatim, you were a sidekick, I did, say things out of anger that left it open. It's the same thing as when Stormy Mama was upset that Mel did not shut down fans who were saying Stormy did this and that. The only difference was Mel didn't say shit to make it seem as if it was Stormy. People thought that. Kyla directly said out her own mouth these things that made the fans say stuff. And each time Kyla or Maurice had a chance to deny to say that ain't true, they didn't do it. And we get a to be continued. Kyla, to me, now maybe she'll in another part she'll admit her wrongdoings or whatever. I don't know. But Kyla know damn well what she said. Now let's move on to Maurice. Because that was the end of the episode. Maurice had an interview with Carlos King. I try my best to not watch Carlos King's content. Not because I'm a hater, but Carlos King, to me, aggravates me because he's a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. Okay. And I still don't know if he's from Detroit. I need to see his I need to see where he lived. I need to see, okay, because I'm still mad that Love and Marriage Detroit hashtag is LMA. No, wait. LAMDT. That's so stupid. It should have been DET. I'm done. Anyway, I can, and y'all know usually I don't like commenting on things if I've not watched the full clip. But I can comment on this. Now, Carlos and him had an interview. The part that has been going viral is when they were discussing, Kimmi telling him on the show how she don't have a sex drive, that she was only doing it because she knew he wanted sex. And how at times she was faking it. Now, while that was the first time that Maurice heard that was one thing of how he reacted on the show. My issue with Maurice is not that he was still having sex with Kimmi during cancer, because he thought she wanted sex, as he said on the show. He thought that. However, from the moment that they had that conversation in the car, and she said, "Well, no, I don't want sex. I do because you want it." My issue is the fact that after she told him how she felt, he still made it seem like, well, she's doing her job as a wife. Like he kind of doubled down on, well, I'm understanding about her with her cancer battle, and she's still satisfying me because I'm like, it made my skin crawl that after she told him how she felt, he still was saying that even though she's going through cancer, she still like puts up with the tolerance, whatever word he used. He still she suffers through it for him. And I'm like, but once she told you what she did not want, because physically her body doesn't want it and she's tired, for you to say that she's suffering through it as a wife makes you a piece of shit. Because it's one thing to not know how she feels and y'all still doing it. It's something else that she tells you how she feels and you then make it seem like, well, it's okay for us to still do it. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that you never even thought that you're being selfish by not being able to beat your meat unto your wife who has cancer is in a better way. You know what I'm saying? It shows you a POS. Period. Because when we seen the conversation in the episode, we were like, well, damn. I don't think anyone knew they were still having sex. So when we found out they were, and not only that, but she was faking even enjoying it because she wanted him to, she wanted him to finish. You would think that a real man, a real loving husband would be like, you know what? Until you tell me you fully want it for your own benefit, not for mine, that you feel up to it, let's just not do it. I'll one-hand it. You know what I'm saying? The fact that he could not even say that to me is like, you're a piece of shit. And we know the vows, good and bad, happy and sad, and things in the house. That don't mean while your wife is fighting cancer, that because you still, I need sex. I don't just want sex. Whatever. We know, cool, your dick get hard, whatever. It's kids outside. It's freaking me out because it's new neighbors. Anyway, it's one thing for you to just still want what you know she don't want. That's what's crazy. And the fact that hold on, y'all. I did the video. I be hearing things and I'm like, what's going on? What's this damn neighbors? Anyway, but Maurice is the POS. So the clip that went out went viral. You hear me? Everybody, it was on all the blogs. Man forces wife to have sex with cancer, all these things, okay? Fully went viral. And I was like, good. Because these were his comments after knowing what she told you. You didn't care no more. So we seen that, honey, and then Dennis from Housewives of Atlanta, Portia Gubadia's baby daddy, was like, I want to fight. I'm like, why do you want to? What's going on? What happened? So Dennis was one other people. Now everybody who saw the interview was upset. Okay, they were fully coming for Maurice. The fact that some folk did not even know, who he was. They weren't even quoting the show, did not say his name, but they were fully coming head first for Maurice, his antics, and what he said. And one of those people happened to be, where is it? I thought I saved it, was Portia baby daddy. Now, to me, him wanting to basically fight that man, it was what it was. So, let me see. I think I have it right here. He posted on Twitter a screenshot of a conversation he had with Maurice in the DMs. And it was funny because I'm like, you want a box? What? I was like, wait, what? What happened? I was confused because at first I'm like, did y'all argue? Be like, no, I'm fighting Maurice in October if he has 20K. His interview with Carlos King was disgusting. So that was what he posted. He then showed that he had DM'd Maurice. He said, look, let's box for charity for cancer. 20K put up on both sides. I'll get sponsors to match 100K for charity. And Maurice said, okay, let's discuss the details. So, I felt like, one, a lot of people felt like they were pissed at what he said. Two, we can box for charity, meaning the money we raise will go to a cancer charity, whatever, fine. And so that was the initial thing. So then that was a couple days ago. So, because the interview with Carlos King came out 8 days ago. 8 days ago. Okay. Maurice then put up this either today or yesterday. I can't think it was 7 hours ago. Let me show a video. Share screen. Share. Boom. Maurice put up this video. Now, one, I was confused. Because again, while initially he said, yeah, let's discuss, possibly doing the boxing match or whatever for charity, 20K each. He then said, well, Dennis, work when celebrated, did his name. It looked like I ain't got that 20K. I guess I'll go back to my business. Kimmy, fast cars, blah, blah, blah. He then tagged Rashid, Rashid from Put a Ring on it? No, Rashid from Rape to Love. He tagged Rashid and said, thanks for linking up the deal. Holler at him if you want a good deal on a car. So I don't know what car Maurice is going to get. He making it seem as if he getting a car. I don't know. But he's trying to say, like, okay, because I'm getting this car, I can't now put up money to, battle or the box that man. Well, because of that, comments. Okay. As you see right here, he responded. Okay. I was like, why? What? Now, I don't know why Maurice made it seem as if he didn't have the money to do this, that, or the other. So they was going back and forth. Okay. Then it said, nice car, but you got it. It's for charity, and I heard you from Detroit. Let's get it on. First of all, they are not from Detroit. Maurice and the Scotts are not from Detroit. Maurice then said, nah, fam, you run to the blogs with DMs, and I ain't really with that. I donate to charity all the time, so that's not really a thing for me. By the way, who you fighting for anyway? I'm like, well, he said charity. You know what I'm saying? He said charity. He said, hey, pick a cancer charity. We can do it for that. Okay? Micah, the other brother, the crazy one. No, Micah's the one who be on the show. Mark is the crazy one. Mike gonna say, oh, the joy of putting folks in their place. I'm like, how was anyone putting anyone in their place? They not from here. They not from Detroit, and I'm not letting no one can claim that I'm from Detroit, born and raised. Period. They ain't from here. Okay. Dennis then said, if you scared to catch a fade, just say that. If you wasn't doing interviews, we wouldn't be here. Because Dennis' point was, everybody's feelings was, Maurice is up here forcing his wife, who has cancer, to have sex. So everybody was upset. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was upset. So he's like, if you wasn't doing interviews, we wouldn't be here. I would not want to fight you. Okay. Maurice then said, bruh, we don't need no cameras or fanfare. If you want that, it is what it is. That means you not pretend all this outrage, especially when, from what I've heard, you're no saint. Insert pregnant ex-girlfriend into not pregnant ex-girlfriend conversation. What? Not pregnant ex-girlfriend. Anyway, I haven't ever ran from a fight except the 2 times I had to stare down a barrel. Win, lose, or draw, I've always been game, but I ain't on no fake publicity stuff, especially at the blogs get in my DMs. That's hoish, or maybe that's whole shit, and definitely not from the D-ish. You not from here. Okay? And then it said back, nigga, you on a reality show. Stop the bullshit. Meaning, you want to come and make it seem as if, first of all, Dennis posted it on his Twitter. The blogs picked it up. You hear me? And I'm like, Maurice making it seem as if some private, secret conversation. No, you did a full-fledged interview for all to see. A full-fledged interview. Okay? For all to see. You agreed in the DM. And all he said was, hey, me and Maurice gonna fight for charity. For a cancer charity. And now you want to bring up cars and shit and say it ain't gonna happen. I'm like, Maurice full of shit. And I'm gonna say it again. Maurice is not from Detroit. Okay? Not at all. He isn't. So it ain't no shit. But him making it seem as, and my thing is, Dennis being a cheater is different than Maurice wanting to still make Kimmi have sex with him while fighting cancer. I feel like we, ragtag Dennis when he would cheat on Portia. And I feel like Dennis' point in saying we'll box for charity, for a cancer charity. Because I don't like what you did. I didn't like your interview. And Maurice making it seem as if Dennis is doing it for clout or doing it for social media. I'm like, it ain't his fault. You did an interview that you knew would run wild. Before Dennis posted that, the blogs had already picked up his interview with Carlos. So, and like he said, you are on a reality show. So miss me with the bullshit about you not wanting to do, social media antics. You know what I'm saying? I ain't with that. I ain't with the blogs. Yes, you are. Because guess what? Carlos King is a blog. When you do interviews, it will possibly make the blogs. That is what Carlos hopes. Carlos always hopes when he posts these clips of his interviews with Cass, the blogs will pick it up and people will watch. Bullshit. 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 It's bullshit. It's bullshit. I'm happy that someone said, and it happened to be Portia Baby Daddy. Okay, man, you on a reality show. Stop the bullshit. Period. Because Maurice literally said, but I ain't no fake publicity stunt, especially after blogs get my DMs. I'm like, at the end of the day, how is it fake? Let me know. Okay? And I just feel like, we don't like Maurice no more. We don't. At all. Okay? He gets on all our nerves. And to me, not wanting to address the issue of what you said and how it made folk feel, that's on you. That's on you. You did that, bro. You did that. You said that. You have been around here doing things for attention. Why? Because you are literally on a television show that is a reality show. So what do you want people to do? If you don't want to be about publicity and the blogs, get off a show that makes. Now this may be the first. This, you know what? This is the first time Maurice has made the blogs. Martell has made the blogs with him and his antics. Marceau had with him when they were saying he was cheating, and that he had a baby out there. But for the most part, Kimmy and Maurice storyline has like never really reached the blogs. It's always just been on the show. So this is the first time I feel like Maurice has even been talked about on social media. First time. At the end of the day, this shit is messy. At the end of the day, this shit is messy. Okay? Now, last thing we're gonna look at is Coleslaw's response to Mail Live, and that's only because I happen to have the screenshot right here, and I'm gonna probably do a whole video about it later because I'm gonna be live. Girl, I got them doing fireworks, and stuff. But we all know that Mail, did a live. Okay, tomorrow afternoon, y'all. Probably tomorrow around. I may do tomorrow 5:30. I may do tomorrow 5:30 because most folks is home at that time. But we watched Mail's live already. So if y'all here right now, we can see Coleslaw's response. We'll get into a little bit more later on. Okay. So she said, first off, I wasn't talking about you. I haven't spoken on you in over 2 years. Don't flatter yourself, teacher. Not teacher. I'm not thinking about you. I'm confused as to why you would think I'm thinking about you. Slow. You so bossed up and thinking of, girl, you so bossed up and still thinking about Ariana Curry. Why is she speaking in third person? What have you been saying for you to think I think you obsessed with me, silly, bad body ass? Male body ain't bad at all. Male body is great. You up here talking about millions. You filed bankruptcy. Shut the fuck up. But do you know bankruptcy sometimes happens, and she's came back from that anyway. You and that show want me to be worried about you so bad, girl. Fuck bye. Pull up, not today. Maybe next week when you got the kids and can get one of your 22 sitters. Me though, I'm out being a mother to our 5 kids. It's family day. Holla after the 4th. We out having fun. Booking. Girl, hold on. I'm out being a mother to our 5 kids. It's family day. Holla after the 4th. Look, y'all. Look. Male gonna have to, girl, I can't. Pull up not today, maybe next week when you got the kids and can get one of your 22 babysitters. Me though, I'm out being a mother to our 5 kids. It's family day. Holla at after the 4th. We are having fun. Bookie boo. Honey, y'all, let's start raising some money. Let's start raising money for Mel's bail. You hear me? Because immediately, nuck if you buck. Nuck if you buck. You hear me? Nuck if you buck. Girl. But Mel said she on that time now. And I can't remember, I can't recall Mel ever speaking on a kid in that way. But saying you around here having family day with my kids. But see, that's the reason Mel said, I'm going to pull up and beat your ass. And if Mel pull up and beat your ass and gets arrested, first of all, Mel not going to get arrested. Mel, I feel like Mel not going to jeopardize her kids, losing their mama to jail. However, if Mel want to pay somebody to beat that girl, look, y'all, listen, we done here. We done here. Because I have to get off here. I have to get off here and look in case somebody else go. I gotta catch it. I gotta catch it. Now we already had a whole watch along of Mel Live. That's already up there. Go watch it. Okay, that's already up there. I'm gonna do a better graphic too. However, Coleslaw is gonna get her ass whooped. And that's why I said Martell ain't shit. You hear me? Anyway, y'all, I gotta go. I love you all. Great time was had. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Follow me on social media at JayLeesCorner. I will be live tomorrow around 5:30 p.m. for a Gossip Chat Live. For everything else, I will have Love and Marriage Detroit up sometime tomorrow as premieres, okay, and whatnot. A good time was had by all. It's been an eventful past 3-4 hours, okay. It's been an eventful one, okay. I gotta go. Coleslaw and shit.